Food awareness news. Today we're going over GMO corn contributing to human obesity and organ disruption. People not making it from a brand new toxin, cow food additive. It also says it's very toxic and influences human fertility. I know you guys have been up on egg inflation, egg shortages, and you guys want to know how to spot the good eggs. Some of you may have thought the darker the yolk, the better. Gonna tell you what they've been hiding from you on that. Another crazy thing I came across is they're starting to make food that does not go bad. So think about the ingredients. How bad could that be for you? Not even kidding. We're gonna put these products up next to a family-owned business that uses real ingredients and show you how long it should have lasted. You guys might want to stop eating that stuff. We're also gonna cover some hidden dangers in canned foods. And if you guys want to know how 90% of American cheese is not even cheese, or what they're doing to fruit and why it's lasting months on end. Maybe even learn about what they're washing your chicken in. I'm talking about bleach, chlorine, and they say it's okay if you eat it because some of it gets absorbed into the meat. And I'm telling you, the milk that they're serving is banned in a whole bunch of other countries, but okay to drink here in the US. I'll tell you why. Lots of crazy stuff going on to get you guys informed about. I did the digging so you don't have to. Crazy important information coming right up. Hey guys, my name is Cohen here at Riverside Homestead, and if you're brand new here, welcome. And if you guys are into prepping tips, emergency preparedness, and most important, news and awareness that affects you, be sure to start this video off with a like, hit that notification bell so you guys can stay up to date, and let's begin. All right, folks, welcome back. This happens to be part 2. If you're seeing this video for the first time and haven't seen the previous video, I'm gonna put a link right up here to the part 1 because you don't wanna miss what I went over prior to this video. And I'll also put a link down in the description and the pinned comment, or finish this video out and watch the part 1 after. Doesn't matter which one you watch first, but it does matter that you guys get this information into the old noggin because there's a lot of wow factor going on. Now think about all the GMO that you eat and put that one together. In this X post, it says all vaccines are contaminated with glyphosate. Now again, do your own research, can't validate this, save my bacon word. I'm sure that has nothing to do with infertility though. Other than fertility problems, the GMO phenomenon has been noticed elsewhere. Even in our United States, farmers are using GM feed, have reported infertile pigs and cows. Did you guys know about that? And other incidents involving GMOs include Australian researchers reporting 4th generation Frankencorn fed mice totally infertile. Thousands of dead sheep, buffalo, and goats in India after grazing on GM cottonseed. Probably just a coincidence. Offspring of mother of rats fed GM soy dead within 3 weeks and recorded smaller sizes. Organ lesions, altered liver and pancreas cells, and changed enzyme levels. This is all stuff that you guys can deep dive yourself. Excessive cell growth in the stomach lining of the GM potato fed rats, potentially leading to cancer. GMO corn contributing to human obesity and organ disruption. And overall, GM sounds like a sweet deal only for Monsanto. And our own FDA and USDA repeatedly found in bed with them. What do you guys think? I think bottom line is it remains a bad deal for us consumers, no matter what. Now, like I said, you can do your own research. If you guys go to these X posts, a lot of times people put this right in there. Like here's an article right here. GMO fed hamsters become infertile, have stunted growth, and it gives the full report. Scroll down, people are writing stuff like sterilizing the world population. A lot of people saying not surprised, yuck, so sad. But that's not all. Now supposedly they're feeding the cows, which feed us, something very bad. Right here on this X post, it says Belgium farmer exposes the United Nations new toxic cow food additive called Bovier. This guy states that it's a very toxic and influences human fertility, and then basically he says that he's blaming it on Billy G. But let's hear what this guy has to say.
They're adding something called Bovier to the cow food actually. And I'm standing here in the Belgian countryside, you know, with the cows behind me. And they're going to introduce this thing into all the cow food all over the world. It's pushed by the United Nations. And it's something to reduce the methane production of cows, so basically so cows would fart less. Because these crazy scientists are saying that, you know, the cows fart too much, they produce too much methane, and this has a bad influence on the climate. So it's really crazy. And this substance, there's a substance in this food called 3-NOP, I can't pronounce the whole name, and it's very, very toxic. And studies have shown that it influences human fertility, especially male fertility, and it attacks the male sex organs, like the testicles and stuff. That's shown in studies. And also other studies show that, when the cows ingest this substance, it's obviously not good for them, because, if you take something to make you fart less, you can already guess it's not good, right? But it gets into their tissues, into their fat, and it gets into the dairy and the beef we consume. So we have to be really careful, because this is another, coordinated attack on human fertility, just as we had some products, pushed in the last five years that also did that. And, people say, it's for the climate agenda, it's all about the money. And yes, it's about the money, but it's about something way deeper. It's about something way deeper than that. It's not only about the money. It is about changing human evolution. They want to attack human fertility because they want to create a human 2.0. It's transhumanism. And these elites that are behind the United Nations, and the United Nations is involved in this, of course, they want to change the course of human evolution. They want to stop normal human procreation and replace it by synthetic, out of the uterus procreation. And lots of transhumanists have talked about this. So on one level it's about the money, but on the other level it's about something way deeper. It's changing the course of human evolution, changing the way humans procreate, changing the nucleus of human society, a man and a woman coming together and producing a baby. That's what it's about, and that's why they're putting it in the food. And people say, no, this sounds crazy. Might sound crazy, but this is at the highest level what it's really about. It's changing the course of human evolution. So, we're gonna have to watch our food and eat a lot more organic, because, as far as I know, it's not in organic foods. But, really be careful of what you ingest and what you eat, because these substances have a cumulative effect. And we know, the sperm counts of men have been really dropping by, it was a meme about Alex Jones that said, they're turning the frogs gay, but it's confirmed they're putting chemicals like that in the water, and it's all part of that plan. And I see this Bovaer thing as another part of that plan, because the farmers are actually paid to use it, They're getting carbon credits to use it. So this is the agenda.
Now, I always go down through the comments because there's some goodies in the comments. A lot of very intelligent people that will put in their 2 cents. This person right here says, methane isn't the bad guy. It's Billy G and his gas guzzling jet. That's the problem. And this person provides a link to all of the stats. Look, you go to the top of the food chain, the buckets of money up there and the people behind it, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Real quick, before we move on to eggs and egg yolks, right here's a good example. When Billy G, and I'm sure you can figure out who I'm talking about there, heavily censored, isn't investing in dangerous, ineffective vaxaroos, blocking out the sun, insect food, GMO mosquitoes, and cow fart drugs, he's investing in companies to cut down trees to reduce CO2. Watch this.
And other investors are betting Kadama Systems can reduce carbon dioxide in the air by chopping down and burying trees, which has raised $6.6 million in seed funding from Bill Gates' Breakthrough Energy and others. Scientists say burying trees can reduce global warming as well. I don't know where they find these scientists, by the way. To help address the problem, the U.S. Forest Services aims to thin out 70 million acres of western forests, mostly in California, over the next decade, extracting more than 1 billion tons of bone-dried biomass. Normally, when you cut down trees, when you're a lumberjack, when you have a lumber company, you're selling the lumber to build houses, people buying from Home Depot or whatever. They're arguing that they want to, rather than sell the timber, take all that wood and just bury it, because they're saying that that is a better solution. And so, in other words, this is a business, because they're getting money to create carbon offsets.
And this is what Billy G and people like him get financed to do. I just threw that in there because it's the craziness that's behind all of this food awareness and staying aware of what's going on in our surroundings, because it's getting that bad. They're gonna cut down all these trees just to bury them. Tell me how that makes you feel down in the comments real quick. So like I said before, you guys are aware of the egg shortages, egg inflation, and have probably become aware that most of our eggs here in the United States get sent out of the country and we import all the eggs that we eat. And you're like, well, I want pasteurized eggs. I don't want these troubled eggs. And you're thinking, I know which ones are the good ones. It's the ones with the really dark yolks. No, 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 no. So now what you guys need to know is the food industry uses this food additive called xanthrophil, something that's added to the chicken food, and this can affect the meat and the yolk. That's right, they can make the yolk basically any color they want. Bright yellow, dark orange, light colored, dark colored. They can even make it a shade of green. They can make it whatever color they think that you're looking for through a synthetic feed additive. That's what these guys are doing. So that's right, you can get that bright, deep orange, yellow type of yolk. It could be a chicken that has been grass-fed, free-ranged, or it could be from a chicken in a cage that has never even stepped foot outside. Check it out, look into it. Definitely something that people need to know about this day and age, because they're tainting everything, all the way down to different foods, because they want them to last longer. They want them to look fresher longer. As I always say, profit over people. They don't care about your health. They don't care that there's no natural ingredients in these things. They just want to make more money for a lot longer. Watch this example right here.
Apparently, Krispy Kreme donuts don't go bad. According to a few articles online, it has to do with the calcium propionate that's in here, which is a preservative. So I put it to the test. I placed a Krispy Kreme donut in one resealable bag and a donut from a local bakery that uses 7 or 8 simple ingredients in another. So by doing this, I'm trapping moisture in each bag, which creates a microenvironment that accelerates mold growth. And crazy enough, after coming home from Europe 30 days later, I come home to the donuts. The Krispy Kreme donut looking the exact same, perfectly intact, whereas the local bakery's donut has clearly started to decompose. Having a donut every once in a blue moon probably won't harm your health, but it's time to go back to old school and how it's originally made and how it's supposed to be eaten, like a donut that's made with 5 or 6 ingredients.
Look, and I watched a couple other videos that were on ones that I couldn't show you, copyright type issues. But in those videos, the guy actually takes them out of the bag and compares them to one fresh out of the box. You cannot even tell the difference that one was a month old and the other one was brand new out of the box. And point to be said is this is what they're doing to food. They're adding all of these bioengineered or synthetic ingredients to make things last a lot longer, so you guys think they're fresh, they look good, maybe even better than what they looked 80 years ago. You guys keep buying them and eating them, and then probably needing something to get better, if not immediately down the road for sure. Now, I know a lot of you out there are prepping or having emergency preparedness in case things go bad, and a lot of you are stocking up on canned goods. There is the hidden dangers of your canned goods, the truth about BPA and its sneaky replacement. I know this is gonna hit home with a lot of you guys, and you're gonna be sitting there angry with me because I know you probably have months of canned goods stored in your storage for, you know, when crap hits the fan. So now, as you guys know, that the lining of any of these cans, soups, pops, that type of stuff has the BPA lining inside the can. Unless we're talking about the Elite company that has replaced that with an alternate lining. I mean, did you know?
It's kind of the evil twin of phthalates, because phthalates are anti-androgenic and BPA is estrogenic, and phthalates make plastic soft and BPA makes plastic hard. You don't want either.
So you guys are shopping out there at the stores. I'm sure when they made the switch, you guys clearly saw that at the store. You saw those little signs, these little imprints on the cans that said BPA free. But what you don't know is they replaced it. That is with BPS and BPF, which are as carcinogenic as BPA, and it says are not visible alternatives for the replacement. The old sneaky switcheroo. And this is what they do. They figure out what we're looking for, what we want, and they adapt. They don't necessarily make anything healthier or better usually. They just put in front of our faces what we want to see. And in this case, everybody was getting the buzz about BPA, so they said BPA free. No BPAs. And they don't mention the BPS or the BPF because no one knows about it. So, I mean, do you want endocrine disruptors, or do you want to start drinking out of glass, ceramic, metal even, that doesn't have a lining? These are the sneaky things that you need to know about, but you need to be aware about. And there again, you guys appreciate me doing the homework for you. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you got some more insight. I read through a lot of comments, always looking for good stuff to share. Now, for those of you that are still munching on cereal, I got a really good little clip to show you, because the ingredients label isn't an ingredients label anymore. It's a warning label, and it's listed as a warning label in 25 countries. Watch this.
United States Fruit Loops, Canadian Fruit Loops. The difference here is obvious. Look at this, guys. These Fruit Loops contain artificial synthetic food dyes, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, and blue 1. All of these food dyes have been linked to behavioral issues in kids, hyperactivity, and attention deficit symptoms. So this is what Canadian Fruit Loops looks like, colored with more natural dyes. What's sinister about this is that Kellogg's makes both of these products. There's no reason that Kellogg's couldn't sell this type of Fruit Loops without these artificial synthetic dyes, which are pretty clearly associated with all kinds of behavioral issues and potential allergies in kids with asthma in the United States. But they don't. They sell us these Fruit Loops, the hyper neon Fruit Loops that are very addictive and very desirable to your kids. So this is a big reason that we're fat, sick, and unhealthy in the United States. The solution is simple. Eat unprocessed meat, unprocessed plant foods like fruit and vegetables. These food companies are making us sick, but we know how to get healthy.
And really, he's talking about Canada, all the countries. How is it that a company is going to make something very clean or pretty clean with better ingredients for other countries, but then remain using the absolute garbage for us US citizens? This is the sad reality of how mega corporations has taken us to far too far, way too far extremes, major extreme. Now we catch it sometimes and we can go after them, hence all the recalls. And I'm not sure if you guys have watched my recall videos, but new stuff comes out daily, such as hash brown recall drama. Now the problem with this is tons of people get exposed to whatever. It usually gets recalled, sometimes class action lawsuits, which end up in settlements, which means nothing really changes. Some people get paid off, brush it under the rug, and then you see what continues to happen. A new recall every single day. I'm telling you, it has to do with just stuff getting way too big, people chasing after money, quality control going out the window, such as this. Did you hear about the massive hash brown recall? Over 730,000 pounds of those crispy breakfast faves are being pulled because they might have plastic bits in them. Seriously? The recall mostly hits restaurants and food services spots. Lamb Weston, the company behind the fries at places like Mickey D's, Wendy's, and more, is at the center. No word yet if fave fast food joints is affected, but if you're eating hash browns out, maybe double check. And then I bet that there's probably a good chance that that plastic is toxic, especially if consumed. Now, if you're new to this channel, we go over, every week I'll do a brand new list of food recalls, different types of recalls that could be in your house, actually most likely in your house, in your fridge, in your cabinets, in your freezer, that could affect you, that you're not gonna really hear anywhere else unless you're digging for it daily. So anyway, there's your part 2 dose of food awareness news and some of the crazy stuff that's going on to aid to all that. Please, I ask you one thing: if you guys appreciate these uploads to bring awareness, hit that thumbs up. Consider sharing it to other people so you can make other people aware. It's a small part that you could do. And of course, let me know down in the comments what you thought of this. Do you want more of this stuff? Because I'm trying to keep these videos short because they could be a half an hour long easy. And remember, this is part 2. Part 1's got some juicy stuff that you guys probably want to know about. I'll put a link right up here in the top corner and another video that you might find interesting on meat. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on with meat. Also, the links will be in the pinned comment and the description below. Got a lot more coming down the pipe. We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep prepping, keep learning, keep doing.